In 2025, what is my favorite Sog multi-tool? Probably most of you thought either the Power Leader or the Power Pint. These are a fantastic little tool, and I love that Sog has made these one of the best in the really pocketable segments, but that's actually not the one I find myself carrying almost all the time when I want a Sog. It's actually the Sog Power Access. Now, this is great for several reasons. First of all, it's fairly cheap. It's around $30 some on AliExpress, I believe. Also $45 on Amazon. It's got a really great pocket clip. We've got this 1/4-inch bit driver or possible bit driver on the end. You can hold extensions in like so, right there. I think you can use this with Leatherman bits, like the 7-Eleven ratchet. Now, some people have said, oh, the Leatherman slim bits really didn't work very well with it, but I think if you get it just right, they do work. Of course, you can use the 1/4-inch bits in here. It's supposed to have a magnet that holds it in place. Then you can go ahead and use this as a 1/4-inch screwdriver. Now, the sides of this aren't the most comfortable. I don't really use this hardly ever for a 1/4-inch bit driver. I love to use this in the pocket as an encase tool. So if I'm going on a long trip, I might lose a tool and I want a tool that I don't think will feel very heavy, and I'm not that afraid to use the Sog Power, or lose rather. The Sog Power Access is a perfect tool because it's not like a Leatherman Arc. If I lose it, I'd feel devastated. With this one, I can buy another one off AliExpress or eBay. Not that huge a deal. Great pocket clip, compound leverage system. You know, there's weird things like the angles on here that no one realistically will use, protractor type things. I think right here, let's see if I can get it to focus. We have, what is it, the degrees, 120, 80, so forth. Interesting, but again, not many people will use it. You have some roller markings on the side. Then you have all outside opening tools, which I really like. Now, with these, there's a file. Again, I rarely use files. I do use a Phillips screwdriver a lot. There is the bottle cap lifter, screwdriver, can opener on this side. On this side, the one that I use the most is actually the Phillips screwdriver. Now, on this side, there's the knife. I think it's way too skinny and needs sharpened a lot. It's not a great knife. Now, Sog advertises this as comparable to 440 or 5CR13 MOV, I believe is what it is, but it's not that great knife material. Then we have this precision screwdriver, which I actually do use all the time. So this is great at Christmas time, especially, which just passed, for RC vehicles, all kinds of stuff, that little micro driver. Then you have the large chisel, which I do sometimes use as a screwdriver, even though I shouldn't. You have the awl, you can use that for all kinds of things. It's a great multi-tool if you need something, again, that you're not afraid to use. Let's list a couple of scenarios where you might want to use this as the plier portion, have some extra tools in the handle, but I think it pairs really good with something like the Milwaukee Fastback. You've got the full 1/4-inch bit driver if you don't want to deal with the one on the back. Then you've got the utility knife blade, because again, the knife isn't super great in the Power Access. It's very small. Or another scenario is you always carry a knife, maybe something cheap like the Ozark Trail from Walmart, the $5 or the $10 one, and you want a multi-tool, again, that's fairly cheap but feels nice in the pocket. So is it the greatest tool? No. So what would be the best two tools in this category? Well, I think actually the Leatherman Bond and to some extent the Leatherman Skeletal. Now the Skeletal comes in at 5 ounces. The Power Access comes in at 5.9 and the Leatherman Bond comes in at 5.8. The Skeletal really doesn't have a ton of tools. It essentially has a knife, a screwdriver, and a pair of pliers. If that's what you love, then there you go. It is a little pricey. It's a little bit more expensive than the Power Access. I cut mine down so it's a little bit more pocketable, but it is a lot longer when you have it in the actual configuration with the clip. Now, the Leatherman Bond, I think, is probably the top in this category, coming in at $49. It will come in cheaper than the Sog Access, where it retails on the site, but the Sog Access Power Access, rather, is cheaper on Amazon at the moment on sale. Now, on the Leatherman Bond, how it comes standard is pocket clip, pliers, you've got a crimper underneath the pliers, knife, wire stripper, can opener, bottle cap lifter. Usually on the normal standard one, you get the 3-dimensional Phillips. I put in a bit driver that you can swap in its place, file, large flat screwdriver, smaller screwdriver, and a large awl. A lot of good options. Then there are roller markings on the back. I think, again, at $49, this is a really good deal from Leatherman. It's a very solid multi-tool and one of the best that you can buy from Leatherman on a budget. This is probably the best in its category. Why would you not buy a Bond? Well, if you can get the Power Access on sale, again, very light. I like the fidget factor. To be honest, I think that's what draws me to it. It's so smooth to open and close. I don't care if it's inferior. I don't care if the Bond is better. I like to fidget with this in my pocket. And yes, the Bond is a fantastic tool, but it's stiff out of the package. I know you need to work it in, but I don't feel like spending 400, 500 man hours trying to use this to make it super smooth. I just like the Sog Power Access right out of the package, super smooth, super fidget worthy. Is that how I should be? Probably not, but I'm just telling you how it is. All right, well, that is the favorite Sog multi-tool that I have carried in 2025 for one day so far, but this is the one in 2024 that I found myself carrying the most as well. This is my pick for this new year.